And now, everyone, please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to your host, Larry Katz.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, I guess, and I'm a proud film grad, even prouder member of the Hall of Fame, and current lab specialist in the film degree programs, bachelor's degree, and sometimes master's degree as well. And I'm joined on stage by Culley Bunker, my brother in Hall of Fame. And what year did you graduate?
98.
1898 he graduated.
1898.
Very excited. It was an interesting time in the...
It was an actual ship back then.
Yes.
We had sails, you know, crazy.
And also Kevin Aguirre, more recent film grad from film bachelor's degree. What year did you graduate?
2017.
Awesome. So Kevin was actually one of my students, and now look at him up on stage in front of all you guys.
Hi.
So today we're going to be talking about Bon Jovi video, Unbroken, and before we start talking about it, we figured we'd show it to you guys. So anybody who's streaming this session due to copyright rules, we can't show it on the stream, but there'll be a link where you can watch it. And so we're going to cut to very handsome shots of our faces while the live audience watches the video, and then we're going to talk about it afterwards.
I was born to be of service. Camp Lejeune just felt like home. I had honor, I found purpose. Sir, yes, sir, that's what I know. They sent us to a place I never heard of weeks before. When you're 19, it ain't hard to sleep in the desert on God's floor. Close your eyes, stop counting sheep. You ain't in boot camp anymore. We were taught to shoot our rifles, men and women side by side. Thought we'd be made as liberators in a 1,000-year-old fight. I got this painful ringing in my ear from an IED last night, but no lead line Humvee war machine could save my sergeant's life. 3 more soldiers, 6 civilians need these words to come out right. God of mercy, God of light, save your children from this life. Hear these words, this humble plea, for I have seen the suffering. And with this prayer I'm hoping that we can be unbroken. It's 18 months now, I've been stateside with this medal on my chest. But there are things I can't remember, and there are things I won't forget. I lie awake at night with dreams the devil shouldn't see. I wanna scream, but I can't breathe. And Christ, I'm sweating through these sheets. Where's my brothers? Where's my country? Where's my how things used to be? God of mercy, God of light, save your children from this life. Hear these words, this humble plea, for I have seen the suffering. And with this prayer I'm hoping that we can be for me than the medication would. There ain't no angel that's coming to save me. But even if they could, today, 22 will die from suicide. Just like yesterday, they're gone. I live my life for each tomorrow, so their memories will live on. Once we were boys and we were strangers. Now we're brothers and we're men. Someday you'll ask me, was it worth it to be of service in the end? Well, the blessing and the curses, yeah, I do it all again.
Awesome. Very, very cool. And I mean, Bon Jovi, a huge mega pop star, you know, rock and roll Hall of Fame. I think everybody's heard of Bon Jovi, no matter what, you know, genre of music you may be into. You know that name. So amazing. I've known you for 6 or 7 years. Digital design animation grad, digital DAD grad. And Skulley FX, your company, is, you know, as far as I know, always been like a traditional post-production visual effects house, doing cleanups on videos and shots for movies and stuff like that. So what the heck are you doing, directing and putting together a music video? How does that come? How do you branch off into that?
Well, our partner that couldn't make it because he's actually working on some stuff that we can't talk about right now. Was supposed to be here with us, but we've been friends for years, and he's directed before, and he's always been really interested and thrilled with the talent that Skulley FX has brought to the music video world. And a while ago, we directed another video together, Disturbed the Light, and so that one came about, but we started to think about doing a studio side, because we've been doing this for so long, and we're such a known entity in the music video world that it would be very easy for us to get to a place to get to these amazing videos a little faster than starting from scratch. So I took his advice, and we got a rep and started receiving treatments, and right away we got this Bon Jovi treatment, and he's not asking for anybody else. He saw the video for Disturbed, and he said, I want these guys to do this. So it wasn't even a process of winning the job. We were a single bid job on this from our previous work.
So you got representation now that's connecting you
Yes.
with the gigs.
So it starts off as a director or a directing group. You have a rep, and the rep knows the what do you call them? Commissioners, the video commissioners. The video commissioners go to the reps, and they say, we have a video, who do you have for it that would be good for this music or for this style? Or they want to be visual effects heavy, and then they go, okay, we got these people. So all the different reps tell us, okay, we got this song for you. They send us the song and any notes from the artist, any feelings, or just do anything. So Bon Jovi did have a thought on what he wanted to do. He sent us a couple reference videos. It was motion graphics centric, a lot of stills, and then taken apart and spatialized. So that was about all he said. And he said, I wanna show the plight of a soldier and make people feel, you know, for the song visually what I put on autistically, audioly, sonically. Okay. What I put out sonically, I want you guys to try to do visually for the song. And so we made a treatment. I don't know if you can pull the treatment up,
I
Kevin?
have it up right now. Yeah.
So we're going to show you the treatment that originally started the video after he told us what he wanted to do. We didn't want to kind of do exactly what he said because we want to make it our own. And we came up with this idea to do perceptual art, where you build a thing out of other things. And depending on the angle you see it, it can be just a bunch of nothing. And then you turn, and then you know, right here you have the United States made out of guns.
Yeah.
So this was the start of the treatment, and move on. There you go. And we talk about what we're going to do with a lot of adjectives and describing words in music video treatments. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them, but the adjectives fly heavily. So it's usually like, it's going to be amazing, it's going to be epic. You know, you want them to feel good about what you're writing, and it just kind of all sticks that way. I swear, every treatment, and so
trying to catch
everything's
their attention.
epic. But
At what point, I mean, do you actually meet with Bon Jovi for the first time?
okay, so we're getting on a conference call, and I got to do a little breakaway and go to Vegas with my wife for getaway, and I'm at the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas on a call with Bon Jovi in like the rock suite. I got hooked up by another Hall of Famer, and I'm sitting there talking to Bon Jovi as I just passed one of his like displays at the Hard Rock Hotel.
His
So it's kind of
jacket or his
surreal.
boots or something.
Yeah, it was his jacket or something from Slippery When Wet. Who knows? So I'm just talking to Bon Jovi. He's like, "Yeah, I really need this to make, you know, I'm taking this to Congress. It has to be amazing. We're trying to raise money for PTSD and make awareness, and we have these. The project is gonna be to help pay for service dogs, and there's a documentary that's involved, so we want you to make this video and get these feelings out so we can try to sell. I'm losing my train of thought here, but
That's okay. So nuts and bolts, looking at this treatment here, this is actually, you know, what you submitted to Bon Jovi?
Yes.
And so is that some kind of a standard format? Is there a template for it? Or is it kind of, you know, do your own thing? Is there a way that artists and the representatives are expecting to receive this information?
well, when we start off, it's just words. We come up with the concept and spell out everything we want to shoot in a paragraph form, as you say.
It's a Word
And
document. It's usually just a Word document.
Yeah, just a Word document. And then after that's done and honed, Kevin is our visual writer, so to speak, and he'll take over and put picture to the page that goes with the words to try to, he scours the internet to try to find visuals that go with our words so they can see when they read what it potentially will look like.
So Kevin, you know, you are a film student. You did everything that our other film students do, as far as you were a grip and you learned about script supervising and AD, and you were a door PA and all those things, you know, that could lead to, you know, working on set. So how, you know, how have you steered your career, and how did you end up with Culley, and what's your role over there with him?
So when I moved out to LA, I started to the whole hustle situation, you know. I slept on the floor for like 6 weeks and just went to every set that I could. I ended up meeting these people who were working on a bunch of projects, and I started to work with them with zero to like really low budgets. And I ended up shooting a TV show, a feature film, and then like a bunch of music videos so that I could build my reel up. And all the footage looked really pretty. Last year, I was at Hall of Fame, and that's where I met Culley. And we started talking, we hit it off, and I showed him some of my work, and he was impressed, and he brought me along with the team. So right now, I'm the manager at the studio manager at Skulley Studios, and a part of his creative team in developing the whole production side of Skulley.
That's really cool. And I mean, for, Culley's the artist, and he's reluctant businessman, but I mean, he's an artist as far as I know about this guy. And so for him to put the trust in you to put this together, to show to Bon Jovi. So, I mean, where did you learn how to put a treatment together that you could, professionally put forward? And I mean, did you have a fear that they would say, what the hell is this? A kid, where did you learn how to make this? Forget it, that's not what we were looking for. I mean, it must have been anxious, I would think,
Yeah, absolutely. But really, there's examples of professional work everywhere. Honestly, you could look up on Google and try to find professional Bibles. And I actually ended up finding the Bible for New Girl, Stranger Things, and I believe like Scrubs was one of them as well, an old TV show. But Westworld was one of the big ones that I kind of use as a template. And then it's just kind of finding the images that fit your story. But if you find examples of things that have already been chosen and produced and made, then you can really just learn a lot from them and then turn it into your own thing. So there's always that fear in the back of your mind that somebody will look at it and laugh and spit in it and everything. But if you like put your all into it, there's really no way you can go wrong. When somebody looks at it, it's really subjective. So you just do what you think is right, and then you like base it off the template of things that have already been made, and then you really can't go wrong.
This is some, like textbook full sailiness happening up here that I hope you guys are witnessing, that these guys met at Hall of Fame and they connected because of their full sail commonality. And, Culley gave Kevin a chance, and Kevin stepped up to the plate, and he, did his homework and he did his research and he put this together. And so, guys, that's the way this works. So I hope you see that as a microcosm for what you should be doing and how you should be fostering relationships, and how, as a kind of, beginner, newbie, you can still make it happen. So when do we start talking about like budget? When does that come into play?
So after the treatment was approved.
Yeah, I want to get back to that because I know you went back and forth with them about that.
Yeah. So after the treatment was approved, we decided on a date, and we decided also that we wanted to do this perceptual art more than the idea that Bon Jovi had, and he said, okay, just make it look good. We did have this. We were going to put it in a like art gallery, and he did say no, this cannot be in an art gallery. It has to have grit and feel. I don't want it in a white space. And I'm like, okay, that just threw out half our treatment. So we had to revamp that, and we wanted to put it in the desert too, but we couldn't get out to a desert location. So basically just whittling away all of our ideas down into something else. So it starts off like, oh, this is all great, but actually, when you're finished going through the process, there's a lot of changes. So number one was we couldn't get to the desert. Number two is he didn't want to do anything in a white museum-looking thing. It had to be gritty. And so we did the classic music video move and moved it to a warehouse, which seems like every music video is done in a warehouse.
They probably had another music video at that warehouse the day after you guys were there.
I've actually recognized other videos in that warehouse.
Yes. So we came up with another concept of doing projections. And we were going to project stills onto a wall, or just a white background. Can you bring up the picture of just the white background? And we were we only had Bon Jovi for 5 hours, but we wanted to shoot in the dark for the projections. So we started at like 1 a.m. I totally skipped over budget, didn't I?
We can get back to it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm very honestly curious about that because that's mysterious to me. I'm not.
It's mysterious to me too. That's why we hire people.
The world, but I'm just curious, when
so
does that?
Okay, I'll jump back. So yeah, this is one of the walls that we shot, and all we did was go around with this very bright light in the DP, and we shot just bright square walls of the building to put what we wanted on it later. So for about 6 hours, this is all we did until Bon Jovi got there. But going back to
some of your finest directing here.
So the studio awards the job, and they put a third of the money into your account, and you start hiring people. I've been taught you don't do that until they get the money in the account, because things can go sideways and all of a sudden you've spent a lot of the money you're not going to get and the job gets canceled. So we waited till the money was in the account. We hire a producer. And in LA, it's amazing how fast these people work. There's just a network of people, and the producer hires the first AD, and the first AD gets the grip and the camera guys, and the camera guys the DP hires are the camera guys, and then catering. It just I don't know. I've never done production, so I just watched it and I was like, oh, it's ready. You guys are amazing.
All of a sudden, all the money that was in your account is gone.
Yeah, that is true too. That is true too. There was a lot of money. I'm like, wow, that looks amazing. So, and then we come up with a shot list, the best we can, which always gets thrown out the window too, as you may well know. So budget's ready, crew is ready, time, location's ready, we go shoot. So we get there at 1 a.m. and we start shooting lights on a wall. It just cracks us up, right? So we're just shooting lights on the wall for 6 hours. And then Bon Jovi gets there, and one of the most professional, I'm like, okay, we're going to put you over here. He's like, okay, light's good. And he just does his thing. Don't even have to barely direct him. So he's done this before. That's basically what he said. Yeah, I've done this before.
That's for sure. So, okay, let's back up.
Yeah.
Back.
I jump around.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I love it. So, you understand his original thought on it. You guys have a spin on it, your own thought on it. And so then those two ideas are presented, to each other, and somehow you have to compromise and find some middle ground that is good for everybody.
Yeah, so way before this, I forgot about the projection video. We wanted to project images that we found, stock footage images, on the walls as well, not just the white. I brought my projector that I had in the garage, and we put up the projections, and we were just going to originally project it on the walls and edit with these projections. And for some reason, I had the idea of projecting on John, and John was cool with it, and I think it's one of the more iconic parts of the video is just the flag on his face and the gravestones on his guitar. Happy accidents are, I swear, the best things of the shoot. You just don't even know, and you're like on set, and you're just like, what if I did this? And when he was singing and I first hit his face and that flag came up, like, oh, that's it. I found it. Because I wasn't getting my feely moments as of yet. And John, after he saw it, he was like, yeah, this is amazing.
One of the best happy accidents, one of my favorite parts of the video was originally we had the gravestones on the guitar, but then in the flame, Culley was playing with it when Bon Jovi says, today 22 will die from suicide, and like he changed it to the shot of Bon Jovi, and then comped the footage that we were using for all the gravestones that kind of faded above him, and it was all over the background.
There's a big backstory to that too, because we kind of had a rough cut, and John saw it, and he's like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, guys. He's just like, I gotta be number one. I gotta look better. You're not finding the shots of me, and number two, I'm just not feeling it.
I know you. We're buddies, and you're a sensitive guy. But there's notes. There's always notes in everything you do. So what does that feel like? How did you feel about the rough cut?
Kevin started the edit, and he was doing a great job. And then we brought in one of our friends, Chip, and he was doing the final touches. And Chip's edit came out, and we loved it. And then when it comes to me, I'm a finisher, so I'm just honing and honing after these guys do it even. And I'm still doing a little bit of editing. But I knew what John was saying. It didn't have the feels. And we weren't getting the emotion that we were trying to get out of the video in a lot of places.
So that wasn't an unexpected reaction from him. When you show him that cut, are you kind of like waiting for the...
Yeah, I wanted to get his feelings
drop,
on it, of course, but it was also... I wasn't feeling the feels. And this is a new territory for me because I usually just do whatever he tells me. So I'm working on a video where I have control, so it's a totally different area for me. So I'm watching it going, how do I make this get the feels? Like, I need the tingle. And I just watched it. I got the tingle again. So did it right, I think. But and then I put that shot over him, and it just faded up when he saw it, when he says it, and I was just, oh, this is it.
So you felt
This is
like,
it.
I mean, ultimately you fixed it, and then when you showed it
It
to
wasn't
him,
just that. There was a lot of other places too that we got to, but that one, I think that sold John.
was there moments in the, kind of conception of it and the treatment process that you felt strongly about things, but he said absolutely not, or vice versa? I mean, how does,
It didn't really go that way. He just, it's not, that was about all the notes he gave.
I mean,
And so-
but even like originally, as you're
He
landing on
tore-
the idea.
we originally were going to do a lot of perceptual art, and that kind of fell apart through the process. We didn't have time because we were trying to get the feels, and this is a huge area of the video, and we weren't getting the edit right, and there was a lot of black holes where we were supposed to put these perceptual art stuff. So installation, we were doing it in CG and just trying to come up with the idea, but it just kind of fell by the wayside. So we had to scramble, and we put together these motion graphics, kind of back to what John wanted to do. And I really liked the way it turned out. Another Full Sailor, well, a bunch of Full Sail grads worked on this, but a recent grad, he did a few of these motion graphic moments. And the one where he says, my country, and it comes up with the Congress and the people in the background, and it says, fought for my country, fight for me. We all came up to that together, and it was just, I really love the look of it, the feel, and the motion, and the color, and just, losing myself again.
I think it's a good lesson, about not falling in love with your ideas, and being hardwired on, what your original idea was. There's always like some give and take, and it's cool to watch you, like you said, evolve from just being the artist who's taking instruction to now figuring out how to be the one who is giving the instruction and who's got the vision. And how do you, you have to make compromises. No one is the auteur who says, we're doing it my way and that's it. I mean, so there's certain film directors and everything, but
it's
cool to
really
watch
tricky
that.
because I'm a service guy. I usually give everybody what they want because that's my job. I have to go in and do visual effects and post and give the people what they want. So turning that corner and trying to be creative and getting what I want was very weird. Because I just run and gun, get it done. That's what my mantra's been for a long time. But now it's my job to make sure the quality's there. So it was very different.
It's another cool takeaway, I think, for you guys. Here's Culley that graduated in 1998, and he's been doing his thing. According to my calculations, that's a long time. And now all of a sudden he's evolving. He's putting on a different hat. So, what you guys start out doing, it's not a straight line, and you can kind of steer yourselves in different directions. You don't know when 20 years later you're going to get a different opportunity. So I think that's another kind of cool takeaway.
Yeah, I came for audio engineering.
Ha! You're tone deaf, man. I know you.
Exactly. That's why I got out immediately.
So, so now to production. So you have Bon Jovi for 5 hours. I mean, that's it. Like,
I think it was a little less, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
and I mean that's pretty like set in stone. Like he's leaving.
Yeah, we got like one take in every setup.
Yeah.
So
which
I mean, you
was
got to be
scared the crap out of me because when you're doing a visual effects video, I always want to get performance because you never know how much visual effects you're going to get in the end because things get hard or they don't like it or so even on not my shoots, I'm like always just go get a performance, get a couple different angles. You always have that to edit with. So when we had only 5 hours with them, it really scared me, especially only getting single takes in each location. I mean, I think we got 2 takes in one, and it was right after I started doing the projection. It was just kind of like, let's do this. And we got 1 take of that, and I'm like, oh, I really wanted to because there was so many moments we missed because we only happened at the end of the take. Like when the flag comes up, that's when I started getting it on him, and it was just like the right place and the right time. And I wanted to do that over. Nope, moving on, because we wouldn't get the other location if we didn't. And the location, it was a really busy time, and the location's like, you got to be out. We got people coming in right after you. Another music video, probably.
It's I mean, yeah, there's always parameters, you guys, and you can't say, well, I guess we can't do it if we only have Bon Jovi for 5 hours. That's it. That's the sandbox that you're playing in, and so you have to ramp up your prep, and you have to know exactly what you're doing with every second of that 5 hours. All right. No. So you shot other stuff that didn't involve him. I mean, The Wall, you said at 1 in the morning and other things. But so I see, as I'm watching that video, I'm trying to figure out what you shot, what stock footage, is there B-roll stuff in there? So what else did you guys shoot besides
We
in the
shot Bon
warehouse?
Jovi in The Wall, and other than that, anything moving is stock footage.
Yeah.
And there's a whole stock footage story here we have to go down.
Lessons.
Yes, lessons. We learned some lessons on stock footage. So we go to we go to a stock footage site, and we download an immense amount of footage. And Kevin edits a lot of it, and we try to place it. We have a whole stock footage edit that goes on top, and trying to figure out where it's going.
Do you pay for a subscription, or do you pay per clip?
You download it with first. You download as editorial wise. You download it with
The
burn-in.
Right.
The burn-in. You download it with the burn-in, and you use the burn-ins until you figure out what you want to buy. So after you do that, you put all the ones in the cart you want to buy, and you say, okay, I want to buy these, and you get them without the whatever resolution you purchase, and you download them, you put in your video.
And that piles up.
It does pile
But
up.
in
We had
itself,
32 minimum to start,
something like that, yeah.
and I mean just the minimum purchase is $80 each, 120.
And then with licenses, it's plus.
Yeah, we're not there. We're going to get to the licensing part. So
Pump the brakes, Kev.
yeah, there's a middle story to this. So we get all the stock footage in, and we're using a lot of this stock footage in our graphics and moving them around, and we're buying stock stills, and we are knee deep in this video. I mean, it's all stock footage. Like, you can't make what he wants to make without having stock footage. We just couldn't go shoot anything, and getting this stuff is almost impossible. The military stuff is really hard to source any other way. We called the military, we called the government, and we actually
Hello,
in the
government. It's me, Culley.
Your pal.
Well, it's some agency in the government we called. We ended up. Well, that's a later part of the story. So we found out after we started delivering, the lawyers started asking us, what kind of licenses do you have for these?
Lawyers.
And we have the basic license. Oh, you're going to need the
commercial
license.
Yeah.
You're going to need the commercial license. So we started checking into that, and we're
So
like,
on the stock footage that you paid for,
yes.
now
We
you learned.
We found out that the minimum payment is just to use on the web with less than 500,000 views.
So it's
Yes,
kind of
I've
similar
read a
to
lot
licensing
of legal
music.
lines for this because, it just about tanked us.
So it was like the price of the stock clip, which ranges like, so we had some from 50 to like 120, plus $300 to get the commercial license.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad.
But the story's not done. Yeah, we're not done here. So after paying for quite a few clips, the $300 upsell to get the commercial license, we find out that there's two different kinds of clip that you download. One's called commercial and one's called editorial. Yeah, in unison we say
Nightmares.
that because that was nightmares. Editorial, you're not supposed to manipulate in any way, and it can only be shown in certain ways.
As shot.
So
Unless you have permission.
yeah. Or, yeah, so, and we started checking into this, and we're like, oh my God, we're going to have to pull out half of this video and re-edit and find clips we can use and pay only the whatever price for. And we're freaking out, and we're about ready to go and to spend 2 more weeks redoing this whole video. And then we get a call. Oh, Kevin did a bunch of work trying to figure out how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Because, money will make it right eventually. They just want a bunch of money. So we find out, what's the cost, Kevin, to get all this right so we can use it?
How much?
Yeah, what was it?
It was $2,000 per clip.
For what you thought were $80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, rookie mistakes here. So how much was it total?
I just want to mention that it says editorial very tinily.
Yeah.
Very tiny at the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's
But
bait
it was
and switch.
$2,000 per clip, and I believe we had
In the end,
in
not
the
just the
end, 'cause
final
we took out a
payment,
bunch.
yeah.
But in the end, we had like 12 clips.
No,
So-
no. It was more than that.
No,
it was like
but that-
$33,000.
Yeah.
It was 22 at the end. We had already paid for like
15,
12
16
with the
clips.
budget.
Yeah.
So it was $22,000 in the end we didn't have. And we're going to have to pull out all these clips and figure out, we're going to go shoot stuff. We don't know. Well, it ended up being that way because in the middle of this, we found a guy, Kyle. Tell us about Kyle.
Kyle, he was a military man. I believe right now he works in the film industry as a producer, doing a bunch of commercials. But we found him based off of like an old YouTube movie that he put out like 10 years ago. And we found his contact information and we asked him for his help. He agreed to give us a bunch of images that he took because while he was in the military, he would bring his camera out and he would take pictures and videos. And he allowed us to use a lot of his content so that we could replace a lot of the stock footage that we had.
What do you mean you found him? Like on Tinder? I mean, how does that happen?
I think
Kevin
it
was scouring the
yeah.
internet for anything we could fill in because we're freaking out. Like, we can't afford this. We have to find something. So Kyle was great, so very gracious in letting us buy for a lot less than we were paying for other stuff.
But you still pulled out all those clips that you were planning to use that you had
We didn't
edited
pull them
in.
out yet. We started filling in with new stuff.
Yeah.
We started, and then we couldn't get rid of some of it
So you
because
had to
it was
pay
just
for those.
so good.
And
Well,
Bon Jovi had already seen it and liked it.
yeah.
So,
And then we get a call because we just don't know what to do because we can't get rid of these shots, and we're going to have to pull out some of the most iconic stuff, the graveyard, anything, and all of it's projected too. So we're going to have to
Yeah.
pull out shots that are in the edit with the projections on
So
the
you
wall.
did all those projections in
Yes.
camera.
Yes. Well, not all of them, but
Not yet.
a lot of them. And so we're going to have to pull out half the video in even the projections on the wall. So we get a call, and he's like, oh, we don't, the label calls, and Bon Jovi called. I'm like, oh, crap. What'd he say? He's paying for it.
He's got it in his couch cushions.
He's
at
like, he
22.
likes the videos so much, he's just going to take care of it. I was like, oh, my God.
that was after a lot of back and forth. though.
Yes,
like-
it was scary. It was really. I thought I was going to have to pay for it out of my pocket. We were going to be way over
I've
budget.
seen your pocket. A moth flew out of
Yeah,
it.
I know. Yeah. I've already paid for one video in my past.
I
It
want
wasn't-
to point out, if anybody in this room, in your lives, ever uses stock footage and you fall in the same hole that these guys just told you about, you are a darn fool. So you just learned a map, and on that map is a hole, and in that hole were these two guys. And if you fall in that same hole, you are a fool. So I hope you wrote that down. And I
Yeah.
hope you understand what these guys just said. And if I ever hear about anybody in this room trying to buy stock footage and saying, oh, wow, it's not just $80 for us to use it, then I'm going to laugh at you.
Honestly,
Because,
for most
you
of the
just
stuff
learned
they want to
something.
use, it probably is $80. You just need to
Stay away from editorial.
read the licensing agreements. Yes, stay away from editorial, though. Do not use editorial. Just read the licensing agreement.
take
Most
business
of
away.
the stuff they're going to use it for is probably okay at $80. But if it's going to be over 500 views on YouTube,
They hope it will.
500,000.
yeah, if it goes there, you have to pay the up fee if you want to make sure you don't get sued.
Yeah, just pay attention because I think it was only one website that we used that limited 500K, and the other ones they all have their own rules. So just make sure you read through their licensing agreements and figure that out before it's too late, and you have to spend.
So then, in the
$33,000.
end, we deliver the video, and everybody's happy, and we, a couple
Bullets
years off my
dodged.
life, and Bob's your uncle.
Ooh, and that led to a lyric video that we did as well. Like it led to more work.
Shout out to Casey Balbantine, watching at home.
Casey, you can look up the Bon Jovi Unbroken lyric video, which a lot of people say stands on its own.
It's pretty good. One of recent grads from LA, from Full Sail, who is working for me currently, did the whole lyric video almost by himself. Kevin worked with him.
I was creative directing.
He was creative directing.
And Casey was the lead animator. We stayed up all night for like 3 or 4 nights. Everything was.
This is a film grad who's been in LA for 39 seconds. And he was the lead animator on the lyric video for that song.
He even animated on the actual music.
He created the whole thing.
So you got to check it
I
out.
mean-
I mean, really, really awesome. Okay, hey, we're going to open it up for some questions. Anybody have a question? Here's one. There's a couple.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
Stand up.
Okay. And oh yeah, thank you.
Now I can see you.
Well, when I made a video, it's difficult for me synchronize the words and the music. Well, this is my opinion or my experience because I have no expenses. I made animation, but sometimes I made videos. So, but this is my question. What is the hardest part of made video?
I wanted to mention, because I sunk the Bon Jovi music video, and slates are your friend. I don't think we used the slate on ours, because I remember I had a really hard time syncing it, but a lot of the times you have to do it by eye. I know I had to do a lot of those shots by eyes, and it took a long time to do, but you just got to put the work in. And if you want to ask, like, what's the hardest part of making a music video?
Yeah.
It varies per video.
It varies per the project. You make sure you get enough coverage. Coverage is the most important thing, where you can get like a wide of your artist, then you get the angles of close-ups, and then you get the inserts of everything that's important. Like right now we have on screen inserts of guitars and projections. But if you have enough coverage, you'll be able to make a good music video.
Yeah, you always got to remember cutaways. You can get all the artists what you need, but you got to have these little things to edit with.
This is an insert that you got on the day
Yeah.
with Bon Jovi's
He
guitar.
was playing it right there.
Oh, he was actually okay.
We did a whole take of just projecting on the guitar
While he was playing.
while I was playing it.
That was part of his 5 hours.
And that was
this.
that was on the fly. You know, we just, we should do this.
Was
Because it's
that,
not on the shot
si-
list. We didn't see it till we started projecting. And I was like, oh.
How many cameras did you have when you were shooting?
I think we only had one. Do we
So
have
this
two?
was literally a
No, we had
separate take of that. We have 1 minute
We had
for
one.
the whole question thing? Huh. Okay, cool. We have time for one more question.
Oh, man.
Who's got one more question? Over here.
Hello. Quick question. What camera did you use on set?
Arri Alexa Mini.
Fancy.
Yeah, Alexa Mini.
That was a quick question.
Larry mentioned this earlier, the full sound mix. Like, out of all the things you did in the film program, what prepped you most for being like the film researcher that's picking the images?
Being the film researcher that's picking the images for the treatment and then the stock footage, like what part of the film program prepped you for that, or was it just the whole?
I think it's the whole experience, because you get every month, you get every class experience. You know, like Larry mentioned, I was on set, I was editing while I was here, I was doing I mean, this entire school is research, and like you can really learn how to do anything on the internet nowadays. So like this school in itself is one big tutorial for how to make it out in the entire like actual industry. And then you mix the experience you get from here with your own inner motivation, and at the end product is just hard work and good work.
The skill I see is using the language of cinema. So like they give you a Word document that you know you're right. Culley's saying they're writing it to be visual, but then you're selecting the visuals, and so it's telling the story with images, right? That's the key.
Yeah, my secret weapon on that is Pinterest. You can look up keywords on Pinterest, and it's always some artsy photo. If I don't find it on Pinterest, you can look it up on Google, or you can use examples from other TV shows that you love, because it's a treatment. It's all internal, so you're allowed to use whatever. But my main image, I always make a Pinterest playlist and then search keywords, and then it kind of just leads to a rabbit hole of really powerful images that you can use to catch everyone's attention.
Kevin, I mean, obviously he's an extremely creative guy, and I believe that he made the most of his time here at the school. Curriculum, labs, and classes and all that stuff, that's the easy part. But also, he took initiative to get reps, to get the mustard water out, so to speak, so that he can get to the mustard. And also, he's a master, networker as far as just meeting people and, meeting Culley, who's not even a film guy per se, and turning that into, what they have created together today. So, definitely hats off to this guy, and another really good, lesson for you guys that are current students or getting ready to graduate. But, it didn't just happen to him. He made all this stuff happen.
And we're getting a lot of rejection. We did this video, and we've done how many treatments since then, and not had one get picked up?
Yeah, I think
20
I have
or 30.
20 or 30, yeah.
So you just got to keep going.
Never stop, getting smacked in the face. So for all of his hard work and all of his networking, he's earned the right to get smacked in the face 20 times and told no.
I get told no all the time, but you just got to keep going.
One
No.
more? That's it?
No.
It's over?
No
Finished?
raise.
All right,
No.
guys. So that's all the time we have today. I want to thank Culley and Kevin. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you,
guys for being
Larry.
here.
Thank you, Larry,
Thank
for
you.
stepping up. And
Yes, I appreciate you.
thank you, Kevin.
Just thank you, Culley.
Thank you, Culley. I just like hearing my own voice on that.